Hi, Helen from crystalsandcrochet.com here, and welcome to part 5 of the Cosmic Cowl. In this part we will be working rounds 61 through to 66. Okay, so we are building on our sunbursts. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Round 61. We are going to join with a standing double crochet in the last stitch of any long side. So in we go. Okay, in the chain 2 corner space we are going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So 1, 2, chain 2, and 1, 2. Okay. Right, we're now going to double crochet in the next 12 stitches. Okay, so don't forget that very first one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, we are then going to skip the next 3 stitches. Okay, so that's 2 single crochets here and the front loop single from our ruffle, and then into the next skipped stitch. So that's the one behind the ruffle here where we've clearly got 2 top loops. Okay, we are going to treble, then make a picot treble, and then another treble. Okay, so there's our normal treble. To make a picot treble, we are going to make our treble as normal, chain 3, and then let me get a little bit closer because I want you to see exactly where this needs to go to make a perfect picot. So down through the middle of the 2 loops, so you're coming down through the front loop and then across into that, so you're coming into the post. Let me just take that out so that you can see more clearly. Okay, you're going to come through this bit and this bit here. Okay, so through like that, yarn over and just pull through to make a slip stitch, and then another treble in that same stitch. Okay, so you've got treble, picot treble, treble, all in the same stitch. And as we go on, you'll see how these picots, the way that I do them, and I call them a perfect picot because they do come out perfectly every time. Okay, so let's come out a little bit. Okay, so then we are going to skip the next 2 stitches, which are the ones where we've got front loop single crochets made into them. and in the next skipped stitch we're going to repeat treble, treble picot, treble. Okay, so that's your little repeat to work across. So chain 3, down, front loop and side, yarn over and pull through. And now I've moved on a little bit further from that first one. You can see how the picot sits really neatly and you don't get that sort of like dragging or separation at all with it. Okay, so go ahead and do that 7 times. So you're going to have one of these groups of treble, picot, treble, treble behind every ruffle stitch made into that skipped stitch where you can clearly see those 2 top loops. Okay, and I'll catch up with you on the other side. Okay, so we've repeated that 7 times. So you've got a group of 3 trebles with a picot sitting behind each of those 7 ruffle stitches. And part of the repeat is to skip the next 2 stitches. So for this last one, that's the front loop single and that next single, and then the pattern tells us to skip the next stitch as well, so that's that one. So then we're going to start here and we're going to make 17 double crochets, and we are going to repeat this 3 times, which will bring us across to this point here. You're then going to repeat your trebles and your picot trebles around this last starburst, and then you'll double crochet in 12 stitches, which will bring you up to the corner. Okay, so I'll catch up with you at that point. Okay, so our 3 repeats bring us to this point. Then again 7 repeats of the treble, picot, treble, treble in the skipped stitch behind your ruffle stitches. Don't worry if your work goes wobbly and these bits all fall about the place. In the next few rounds we will be making sure that all of this sits really nice and even. And then after you've skipped those last 3 stitches, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 double crochet to match with the other end. In the corner you're going to do 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then for the long side you've only got 10 double crochet to do along this first part. Oops, hook's fallen out. Repeat the same treble groups around your sunbursts, and then after the sunburst again you're going to skip the 3 stitches here, the same as at the beginning, and you're going to have 14 double crochet in this section here afterwards, and obviously you're going to repeat that 4 times for the long side, and again repeating that last section and then 10 double crochet at the end. Okay, so go ahead and complete all of round 61, but join to the standing double crochet that we made here in the back loop only. Okay, and I will see you for the next round. Round 62. Okay, so with that last round we've joined in the back loop only, leaving that front loop free. And there's a hint at the beginning of this round to work in the back loop and third loop to make your stitches more stable. Okay, so first of all we're going to chain 3, and that counts as our first back loop double crochet. Okay, so if you've not worked, let me come a little bit closer, if you've not worked in the back loop and third loop before, the easiest way to do it is to come straight down with your hook, down towards the base of the stitch, and then push back, and you'll see that you pick up the back loop and that third loop. And then as you make your stitches, let me just make these, there's 2 that we have to make there before we get to the corner. Okay, so you can see that they don't pull that way. You normally get that sort of stretching of the back loop. They don't pull that back loop up and stretch it, so they stay perfectly in place and much more stable. Okay, let's come out a little bit more again. Okay, so in the chain 2 corner space we're going to do 2 half double crochet, chain 2 and 2 half double crochet. Okay, and that's going to be the same for all of our corners in this round. Okay, and we're then going to back loop double crochet in the next 12 stitches, so don't forget that very first one, and again come straight down, push up, you'll pick up those 2 loops, so that your stitches stay much more stable. Okay, so let me just whiz through and put these 12 back loop double crochets in that begin our short side. How many have we got there? 2, 4, 6, 8. 9, 10, 11, and that's number 12. Okay, so you should have 2 double crochet left there. We're going to skip those 2 stitches, and we are going to back loop treble 3 together over the next 3 stitches. So it's these 3 stitches. So again, let me just come in a weeny bit more. Okay, so again, come down and pick up both of those back loops, yarn over and through 2 loops twice, so we're making a partial treble. Okay, I'm going to do that again, so yarn over twice, and even with the picot stitch, because of the way we've made the picot, the back loop is clear to work into, and then in that last treble. Okay, so we've got 4 loops on our hook, yarn over and pull through all of them. Okay, so that is your back loop treble 3 together. And we are then going to chain 3 and you need to do that 6 times. Okay, so again, picking up the back loop and the third loop, that's one leg, second leg, third leg, through and chain 3. Okay, so you're going to do that 6 times. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you'll chain 3 here, and I'll catch up with you just before we make that last one there. Okay, so we've repeated that 6 times, ending with that chain 3, and then we're going to make one more back loop treble 3 together behind this last group of trebles. Okay, so you can see your picot sort of sits up in the middle of your elongated diamond shapes here. Okay, we're now going to skip the next 2 stitches, and we're going to back loop double crochet in the next 13 stitches. Okay, which will take us, will leave us 2 at the end, and then we're going to start that repeat all over again, and we're going to do that 3 times for the short side, 4 times for the long side. Let's just finish these last couple. Okay, so once you get the hang of doing the back loops working in the third loop as well, you'll find your stitches much more stable, and with your back loop treble 3 together, it's made over the 3 trebles in each little group here. Okay, so that's your repeat to work around your starburst and then along here. So on the short side you're going to have 13 stitches, 13 back loop double crochet between your groups of back loop treble 3 together. Sorry, that's Mr. J got the grumps about something. Okay, so 13 on your short side. On your long side there's going to be 10 back loop stitches between. So again, just follow that all the way around. Just double check with the pattern to check that you've got the right number here and at the beginning and end of each side. And then when you're finished and you come all the way round, you're going to join to the top of the chain 3, fasten off and secure your ends. Okay, and I'll see you for the next round. Round 63. Okay, we've got a hint at the beginning of this round to ensure that all of our double trebles are worked in front of round 62. Okay, and we're going to join with a standing back loop single crochet in the last stitch of any long side. Okay, so that's our half double crochet before the chain 2 corner space at the end of the long side. Okay, in the corner we're going to single crochet chain 2, single crochet, and then let's swing everything round. Okay. Okay, so back loop single crochet in the next 13 stitches. So again, don't forget that very first one, and again work through both the back loop and the third loop to keep your stitches really stable and to stop them pulling up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, oops, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12 and 13. Okay, so 13 back loop single crochets. That leaves you 1 double crochet at the end here. Okay, so 13 back loop single crochet, and then we're going to double treble. We're going to skip this next stitch here. We're going to double treble down here between the double crochet and the treble from round 61. Okay, so double treble is yarn over 3 times, down between those stitches and come up from behind, making sure that you're working in front of the last round. Yarn over and through 2, 1, 2, 3 and 4 times. Okay, that's a double treble. We're going to front post single crochet around our back loop treble 3 together, and then we're going to double treble between the treble groups, so down into here. Okay, so yarn over 3 times and make sure that you push that round to the back so that you're working in front of it. Oops. Okay, so your double treble comes down between these 2 groups. You're now going to make 3 single crochet into the chain 3 space, another double treble down between the treble groups, okay, and that's our repeat that we're going to do 6 times. So let me just show you once more. Front post single around your back loop treble 3 together, double treble double treble between your treble groups, three single crochet into the chain 3 space, and another double treble down between your treble groups and in front of the last round. Okay, so when it's in front of, it means that you've not caught any of that and it's totally loose like that. Okay, so carry on and repeat that 6 times. Front post single, double treble, 3 singles, double treble. Okay, and I'll catch up with you once we've done that once we've done that 6 times. Okay, so we've repeated that 6 times with the front post single around the treble 3 together, then a double treble down between the treble groups. Let me zoom in a weeny bit. There we go. 3 single crochet in the chain 3 space, and then another double treble down between the treble groups here. And we've done that 6 times. Okay, let's go out a weeny bit. That's it. Okay, so having done that 6 times, it leaves us with 1 treble 3 together here, and we need to front post single around there, double treble between the treble and double crochet of round 61. So that's going to bring us down to here, which is going to match with that first one that we did. Okay, so yarn over 3 times in there, making sure that you're in front of round 62. Skip the next stitch and then back loop, single crochet in the next 11 stitches. Okay, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. Okay, so again it leaves us this stitch at the end, this double crochet at the end, that we're going to skip when we work that next double treble down here. Okay, so that's your repeat. So you've got a single double treble at each side, and then you've got double trebles forming V's or framing your treble 3 togethers. Let's pull that down so that you can see it. There we go. Okay, so carry on and repeat that 4 times. Yep, 4 times, and then there will be an extra 2 back loop single crochets to do at the end, and I will catch up with you at that point. Okay, so when you've done 4 repeats around the starburst and then the 11 back loop single crochets, you will have 2 stitches left at the end here. So again, back loop single crochet in those 2 stitches, and that then gives you the 13 here that matches to the end where we began. Okay, so as you move on to the long side, again the corner is going to be single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. You'll then basically do exactly the same as you did for the short side, just again with slightly different stitch counts, in that you will work in 11 back loop single crochets here, work the double trebles and single crochets around your starburst, not forgetting that last double treble that comes in here, and then you will have 8 back loop single crochets in between your starburst groups or sunbursts. Okay, so carry on round, just keep checking with the pattern to make sure that you've got your stitch counts right, and when you come all the way back round to that standing back loop single crochet that we did, join there, fasten off and secure your ends, ready for the next round. Okay, so round 64, if you're using a new colour, you will join with a standing single crochet in the last stitch of any long side, which will be this one here. If you're continuing with the same colour, then you will chain one, single crochet in here, and then single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so I'm carrying on with the same colour, so chain one, single crochet, and then single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and then our repeat starts. So in the chain 2 corner space, single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Okay, and then let's swing everything round. Okay, get my tail end out the way. Okay, so working along the short side, we're going to single crochet in the next 14 stitches. Three, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13 and 14. Okay, so that brings us up to that first double treble, and we're now going to front post single crochet 3 together over the next 3 stitches. So we're going to join together the double treble, the front post single, and the next double treble. Okay, so around the front post, just hook in, grab your yarn, pull up a loop. Around the front post single, hook in, grab your yarn, pull up a loop, and around the next double treble, same thing. So you've got 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, straight through all of them. Okay, so it's bringing this up into a point. We're then going to single crochet in the next 3 stitches, which are the 3 single crochets that we made into the chain space. Okay, and that's our little mini repeat that we're going to do 6 times. Okay, so round the front post, round the front post, round the front post, and in. Okay, and 3 single crochet. So go ahead and repeat that 6 times, and then I'll catch up with you once we've done that. Okay, so there's our 6 repeats. So that finishes with those 3 single crochet, and we've just got 2 double trebles and a front post single left here that we need to make another front post single crochet 3 together around, like that. Okay, and now we're going to single crochet in the next 11 stitches. Okay, so that's into our 11 single crochet that are in between the sunburst groups. And that is our repeat. Let me just, whoops, 2 more to go, 10 and 11. Okay, so that's our repeat for this for the short side. Obviously on the long side we've just got slightly less single crochets at the beginning and in between, and so there will also be slightly less at the end. So again, go ahead and just follow the pattern, making sure your stitch counts are right, and this time you will fasten off when you come round and join either to your standing single crochet or to your first single crochet, depending on whether you changed colour or not. Okay, so nice and simple all the way round, and I'll see you for the next round. Round 65. At the beginning of this round there's a hint that the first, third and fifth treble groups will fall in the first, fourth and last front post single crochet 3 together. So they're just little landmarks for you to make sure that your treble groups are in the right places. Okay, so we're going to start off with a standing single crochet in the last stitch of any long side. There we go, so into that last stitch before the chain 2 corner space. Okay, in the chain 2 corner space we are going to single crochet, chain 2 and single crochet. Move everything round. Okay, so we're going to single crochet in the next 12 stitches. 2, whoops, 3, 4, 11 and 12. Oops, losing everything here. Okay, so we've got 3 single crochets left. We're going to skip those 3 stitches, and then in the next stitch, which will be the first front post single crochet 3 together, we are going to make 3 treble, a picot treble and then 3 treble. Okay, so yarn over twice, and there's 1 treble, 2 and 3. Now we're going to do a picot treble, so that's a normal treble, chain 3, and then we're going to go through the front loop and the side of that loop at the top of the post, exactly the same as we did before, so that we create our perfect picot, and then we do 3 more treble. So you've got 7 trebles all together in the group. Whoops. Okay, so 3 treble, picot treble, 3 treble. And then we're going to skip the next 2 stitches. So again, because there's a lot of stitches in there, don't miss counting this first one. So we're going to skip those 2. Then in that next single crochet, we're going to single crochet into that next stitch. Okay. Then again, we skip the next 2 stitches, and in that next stitch we're going to make another treble group. So we've got a little mini repeat going on. So 3 treble, picot treble, and 3 more treble, that's 2 and 3. Skip the next 2 stitches, single crochet in the next stitch. Okay, so that's our little repeat that we're going to do around our sunburst. So you're going to do this 4 times. Okay, so go twice more and then I'll catch up with you there. Okay, so that's 4 times, we've repeated that, and then we are going to skip the next 2 stitches and we're going to make another treble group into the last front post single crochet 3 together. So 1, 2, and 3. Oops, everything's sliding off. And then the picot treble. And then 3 more treble. So that's number 2, and then number 3. Okay, and then we are going to skip the next 3 stitches. So again, take care that you're not accidentally missing that first one. So 1, 2, 3. And we're then going to single crochet in 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you'll see that there's 3 left here. So as you start your repeat again, there's your first 3 stitches to skip. And then you're going to carry on and do this all the way along. Okay, now it will curl up, don't worry about that. It will all sort itself out in the next couple of rounds as we start to fill in these spaces between. Okay, so for your short side, which is the side we're working on here, we've got 12 single, we've got the corner, single, chain 2, single, then we've got 12 single crochets. We're then skipping 3 stitches, and then as we start our repeat, our treble group is 3 treble, picot treble, 3 treble, skip 2 stitches, single crochet. Okay, 4 times, skip 2 stitches, another treble group, skip 3, and single crochet in 5 there. Okay, so you need to do that 4 times, and then you need to make another 7 single crochet at the end. So your 5 plus the 7 will make your 12 to match with this end. And then carry on, go along the long side. Again, in the corner space, it's single, chain 2, single, but then you've got to single crochet in 10 stitches, but the groups that you're working around your sunbursts work exactly the same with a skip 3, treble group, skip 2, single crochet, and you're going to do that 5 times and then add on your additional 8 stitches at the end. But with the long side you're only going to have 2 single crochet in the middle here. Okay, so we're gradually drawing our sunbursts together and gradually going to start to straighten everything up again. Okay, so go ahead and work all the way round again. Just keep checking back with the pattern to make sure that you've got your stitch counts, the number that you're skipping, etc. correct. Once you get all the way back round to the beginning here, you're going to join to the standing single crochet, fasten off and secure your ends. Okay, and I will see you for the next round. Round 66. Okay, although this looks a little bit complicated on the pattern, it's actually not. So, sorry, I'm getting all my yarn in a tangle here. There we go. Okay, so we're going to join with a standing single crochet in the last stitch of any long side. Let's just zoom in just a weeny bit. There we go. Okay, in the chain 2 corner space, we're going to single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet like we have done for the last few rounds. And then let's swing everything round. Okay. Single crochet in the next 9 stitches. 1, 2, 3, whoops, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Okay. Let me just get my piece of pink card again because the white doesn't show up too well on here. There we go, make it a little bit easier to see. Okay, so we're going to skip the next 3 stitches, and then in the next stitch, which is this last single, we are going to chain 1, picot treble, there we go, exactly like the last ones we've been doing, twice. Okay, so we've chain 1, picot treble, chain 1, and then picot treble again. Okay. We are then going to make an extra chain 1. So we've got chain 1, picot treble, excuse me, chain 1, picot treble, and an extra chain 1. We're going to back, this is where our sort of little mini repeat starts. We're going to back loop single crochet in the next picot treble. Okay, so make sure 1, 2, 3 is the 4th one. Okay, back loop single crochet, so it will sort of sit behind the picot. Okay, we're going to chain 1, and then in the next single crochet, so this one down in here, we're going to, oops, I'm losing everything, sorry, we're going to picot treble, chain 1 3 times. Okay, so we've got a chain 1 up here, But then here we're going to picot treble, chain 1, and we're going to do that 3 times. So that's 1, 2, there's the treble, and there's the picot, and a chain 1, 3 times, okay? And that's our little repeat. We're going to do that 4 times, okay? So back loop single crochet into the picot treble from the previous round, so make sure it's your 4th stitch, chain 1, picot treble 3 times, and then chain 1 again before you go into that next single crochet. Oh, sorry, chain 1 before you go into the next the back loop single crochet in that picot treble. Okay, so go ahead and do that 4 times, and then I'll catch up with you again. Okay, so we've done that 4 times. So that, last repeat, there's a picot treble and a chain 1 there. Okay, so we've got 4 lots of 3 picot trebles in there. Okay, so then we need to back loop single into the next picot treble, and then we're going to, lost my place on the pattern, chain 1, and in the 3rd single crochet we're going to picot treble, chain 1 twice. So there's the treble and the picot, and chain 1, and then again picot treble and chain 1. Okay, so you've got like a bead like we had at the beginning here. Okay, and then again we're going to back loop single crochet into that next picot treble. So what you've now done is joined these 2 together with this treble picot treble V type of thing in the middle. Okay, so to this point, before we join in here, that's our repeat, okay, to go 4 times around and then this one in the middle, okay, and then the repeat begins again where we back loop single in that picot treble there. Okay, so go ahead and work along the short side, okay. So we're going to do that 3 times, and then in the last starburst you're going to work the same around with the 4 repeats, okay. So when you join to this last picot treble here with a back loop single, I will join up with you at that point, okay. So we've come all the way along the short side and made that last little repeat 4 times of the 3 picot trebles with the chain spaces in between. and now we need to match up to the other end. So after that back loop single in that picot treble, we're going to chain 1, and then in the next single crochet, so it's the very first one here, we're going to picot treble and chain 1 twice. So there's picot treble, chain 1, and then again whoops, a picot treble and chain 1. Now we're going to skip 3 stitches, and then we are going to single crochet in 9. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. There we go, magic, we come to the end. Okay, so then you're going to start the long side. So again in the corner we've got a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. I'm just going to swing everything round. There we go. Okay, so now we've just got 7 single crochet to do on the long side. So we're at 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we've got 4 stitches left. So exactly the same as we did on the short side, we're going to skip these 3, and then in here we're going to do a chain 1, picot treble twice, and then a chain 1. So let me just do that. Working around the sunbursts is exactly the same repeat as you did before, with the 3 picot trebles and the chain 1 spaces in between. The difference on the long side comes in the way we work in between the sunbursts. Okay, so the repeat starts where we back loop single crochet in there, chain 1, and then picot treble chain 1 3 times, and we're going to do that 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to back loop single crochet in this last picot treble, and I will join up with you again at that point just before we work here, because this gap is much smaller than on the short side, so it's worked slightly differently. Okay, so I'll catch up with you there. Okay, so back loop single made in that last picot treble. We're then going to chain 1, and you're just going to make 1 picot treble into the first single crochet. So there is our picot treble, and then we're going to chain 1, and then our repeat starts all over again with the back loop single crochet in the next picot treble. Okay, so on the long side you only have 1 picot treble here. On the short side you've got 2. Okay, so do make sure as you go around that you're aware of your long side and your short side, and that you are getting all of your picots in the right places, and you know, the number of picot trebles that you're making, because there's quite a lot of work in this round with all the picots, and it's no fun having to undo it all and redo it because you miss a picot somewhere or something, because it will sort of stick out like a sore thumb if there's one missing. Okay, so carry on all the way around, and when you get back to the beginning, join up to the standing single crochet, fasten off and work away all of your ends, and that is the end of part 5. So I will see you for part 6.